Good morning, traders. I'm taking you alongside my trading day using my option alpha bot. Buckle up. There's no fluff here. We're diving straight into trades and the charts. All right, this is my working orders screen. The blue notification you just saw was the bot taking its position. So it filled one call credit spread at $1.75 because we just broke the low of the opening range. The order that you see working for $2 is my manual entry to add to the position only if the mid price reaches $2. If it doesn't, it's fine. I'll just take the one contract, but if it bounces a little bit, I do want to add to the position. And then the order that you see for $8, that's just like a placeholder. I don't really intend for that to fill. I just put it out there so that I can watch the mid price before the bot took its position. So I kind of just want to compare the fill prices. So anyways, I'm just canceling that because obviously that won't fill. In my other day trading life, I am part of a private Discord community of day traders. That's what you see there on the left. You'll see me enter a trade in a second, but on the right, you can see that the market is falling and my $2 order has not filled. So you see that the mid price is already at $1.45. If my bot fills the closing order before my manual order fills, then I'll just cancel it and consider that I missed the trade entirely, and that's fine. I'll just have the one contract. So one of the members of our community created market prediction software we call the Magic 8-Ball. Cute, right? Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the past, 2-ish years, I trade whatever vertical spread it suggests at 10:30 Eastern. I don't know if you know this, but you can copy and paste trades from Discord into ThinkorSwim. That's what I'm doing here. So anyways, it was 6 minutes late today for some reason. I'm not really sure why. So after I paste the trade, it suggested a price of 78 cents, which of course it won't fill. So I'm just using this moving average study that I have overlaid on ES to kind of, target a better entry price. I almost never enter it for exactly what the Magic 8-Ball suggests. I just try and get a better fill price. So that's what you see me doing here. And of course I'm not filled yet, so I'm just letting everybody know, hey, my order is working for this spread and at this price. And then I also say that, if it fills, this is what my profit target is, and this is what my stop loss is. All right, fast forward a few minutes, we got the bounce. So the first order that you see working is my take profit order for the position that filled at $2, or the order that filled at $2. And then the second order you see working is my take profit order for that Magic 8-Ball call credit spread. That was just a 5-wide call credit spread. I'm actually short the same strike as the 60-minute position. That doesn't always happen like that, but I have this sped up pretty fast, by the way, so I just wanted to let you see the price action work. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop on here real quick and note something that I just think is really important. So obviously this $1.75 fill was my bot's entry. The $2 fill was my manual entry. And as you can see, that reached 50 cents profit target in 12 minutes. Okay. And that's just 25 cents credit more, right? And I obviously am still in this $1.75 contract. You won't see the closing order here because the bot doesn't send it until it sees the mid price is that price. So until the mid price is $1.25, it will not send the order. So I don't even see it appear here until the mid price reaches the price. But something else I wanted to note is I just noticed that somebody in our Discord room, I'll try and blur out his username. But anyways, he took the same spread and filled only 10 cents above mine, okay, above my bot's price, and was also out of the trade in 24 minutes. So even just an extra 10 cents capture makes such a difference on the time and trade. Just wanted to share that. I'm still grateful for the green and a winning trade. But let's see if we can see my working order come through here. Yeah, oops. Now you can see that the bot just sent that top order. Now I'm out of my bot's position and I'm just waiting for this other trade to fill. Yeah, so a great day. Also, I really need to share, if I haven't already in this video, what happened yesterday, Tuesday, November 11th. So note to self, don't forget to share that. Hey everyone, welcome to my trading log. I am 63 occurrences into trading the 60-minute opening range breakout. I'm just going to go over this section of my log on this video, but all these previous occurrences were reviewed in previous videos on this YouTube playlist. So the trades that you just saw me take are these two trades right here. And the trade that I wanted to make sure that I talked about was this day here. So bear with me here for a second. At 7:35, we get a breakout to the downside of the opening range, and my bot enters its one contract at $1.90. A few minutes later, I add to the position for $2.30. I immediately put in my buy to close order, and that fills 5 minutes later. Unfortunately, this position gets stopped out, my bot's position, and I want to show you on the option alpha side what happened. All right, this is the position details screen for that position over on option alpha. And there's this $1.90 fill. And actually 20 minutes later, it reaches my profit target, sends the order, but it never fills. So the trade timed out. And in those minutes after it reached profit target, it just couldn't get a fill. And ends up, well, this day it was a call credit spread, so there must have been a bounce to the upside, and I end up getting stopped out an hour later. So this is so painful to see because I can see that it reached my profit target. It just didn't get a fill on the exit order. By the way, if you're running the current version of my bot template, I changed the stop loss to a fixed $140. So truly on this day, if you were running the current version of the bot template, this did stop out at $140, but in this account I was running an old version, so if you're wondering why that loss was higher. So anyways, that was that day. All right, two more trades that I wanted to make sure that I went over. So on this day, you can actually see that my manual position fills before my bot's position. What happened on this day was that when the breakout triggered, I saw that option alpha had sent an order for this put credit spread for $1.05. I go ahead and put in my manual order to add if the position reaches $1.20, which it did at 7:52. I see that my bot is still struggling to get a fill at $1.05, and I didn't want to miss the trade entirely. I don't know why it didn't fill, so I went ahead and canceled the order and just sent it for whatever the mid price was at this time because I didn't want it to miss the win. So this trade ends up winning in 7 minutes, and this trade took an hour and 21 minutes to win. Also, in case I didn't mention it, because in previous videos I have said that so far my manual position has not been the difference between a winning and losing trade. And this day it was the first time that my manual position won and my bot's position did not. So anyways, that's what happened on this day. I couldn't get a fill. I don't know if it had something to do with Tradier. I don't remember. because my paper bot, oh, I noted here that my paper bot actually also filled at $1.20. So I'm not really sure what went on this day. And for the most part, the automation works with no problems. I just don't go over every single time. It works with no issue. It's just a small handful of times where something weird happens. So speaking of weird, this day, I'm going to go over to a chart and kind of show you what the heck happened in these 3 minutes where my bot tried to enter a call credit spread. All right, this is that day's chart in 5-minute increments. I had to move down to 5 minutes because you couldn't see what happened actually on a 15-minute time frame. So this is the low of the 60-minute opening range. It breaks out on this candle here. My bot doesn't take a position at this time because the call credit spread only had 55 cents of credit. So no position, no position, no position, no position. By the way, it's still running and looking. And then on this candle here, which is a 12-point candle, it finds 70 cents, enters, and also simultaneously tries to stop me out. So I don't really know, like this is what the position details look like for that day. You can see it finds 70 cents and fills me at 12:30. And then on the same minute, the price action must have just gone crazy, also tried to stop me out, and then ends up filling me as an exit for $1.65. I don't really know how to explain why that happened on this candle, but that's what happened. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, in the next version of my template, I am testing a setting that looks for a doji candle in the first 15 minutes of the session. If there is a doji candle, the bot will not run that day. Why? Why am I looking for that? First of all, a doji candle is a sign of indecision. And I just have this theory that when the first 15-minute candle is a doji, that the price action that follows, at least in the next couple of hours, usually is a violent chop. And what do I mean by that? I mean that both the high and the low of the opening range will be tested. And of course, that is not good if I am entering the first breakout of the opening range. I don't want the other side to be tested. So if you go back a couple videos, you'll hear me say, like in one of these occurrences, that I knew that the opening, that trade was going to lose that day because of the doji open. I think it was this day. Like I knew that this put credit spread was going to lose because the downside was going to be tested. So anyways, I just will have to circle back and let you know how that setting works out. I haven't had a doji day since I figured out with Jack how to create the settings in the automation, and so I want to like make sure it works correctly before I release that version of the template. So thank you so much for watching. Apologies if that was a little hectic or too fast, but unfortunately or fortunately, that is the nature of 0DTE. I'm sure I missed explaining something. I'm happy to answer any questions. Just leave them in the comment section below. If you want to clone my bot, come grab a free trial over at Option Alpha, and you can copy my template. You can modify it if you want, if you don't like my stop loss, my profit targets, whatever. It's pretty easy to change the settings. If you want to trade live with me over on Discord, I will link that below as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.